Yo.
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 Flames Talk, we're back, baby.
Woo!
We've been doing this for 1 year, and we instantly realized we also have to watch Flames hockey when they're losing.
Walker dude.
Connor Zari's looking promising, man. Welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. I am B-Dog. This is T-Dog beside me. As always, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to everyone around the world and who watched this. So thank you guys for an amazing year. We love all of you guys and the support you've given us throughout the year. 2023 was big for us because we just keep talking about hockey, and a lot happened this season. So I love everything that you guys did, and honestly, just keep it up. Keep leaving likes, keep subscribing, keep commenting. We like what you guys are doing for us. T-Dog, how you doing today? Are you excited for the new year?
Dude, I'm good. I am excited for the new year. A little bit of a weird week for me, I was supposed to go up see some family and stuff, but car sold in the shop. And then I got a decent sickness there where I wasn't able to breathe the best, so that was something. But now that it's the holidays, I'm all better. So we're all
Yay!
good to get into some holiday cheer and just enjoy some family time.
I guess we might as well jump into Flames talk, because last time we talked about this team was in the middle of December, and we're at the end of December. It is the Christmas break for the Calgary Flames, and T-Dog and I are going to kind of just talk and discuss about how we thought the last few games have went. So I'll just kind of hit off all the games that happened, and we'll talk about our thoughts on all of it, honestly. So we start off with the Golden Knights on December 12th. We lost in OT 5-4. Then we moved to the Minnesota Wild on the 14th, when we lose in a shootout 3-2. Then we move on to Tampa on the 16th, where we win 4-2, which was actually a pretty good game in my opinion. And then we move from that to December 18th against the Florida Panthers, where we win against Matthew Tkachuk 3-1. I did go to that game for a Christmas present, so shout out to the person that gave me that. And on the 21st, on the 21st of Thursday, we versed the Anaheim Ducks, winning 3-0. Markstrom's first shutout of the season, if I'm correct. And then just the other day, we versed the LA Kings, and we lose 5-3. And that's how we end off December in the 2023 season. T-Dog, what are your thoughts on the last half of the Flames season in December so far? And what do you expect them after?
Pretty much the same story, I'd say, from like the last episode we had. We're in the mucky middle. That's how it is.
Yep.
We're a 500 team. I mean, I think everything kind of proves it. One thing that you have to say, though, and you have to give credit to, is our goaltending's outstanding. Like, Markstrom has been playing lights out, and man, if he was on a contender team, poor dude, he's wasting his time here. He could be getting himself a nice Vezina or something. The way he's been playing. No, but for real, he's been playing pretty solid. You're getting scoring from players. Like, who expected Coleman to have this great of a season? I don't think anyone did, and he's on pace for 25 goals. And the fact that he can get up to that, and them being shorthanded goals too, is something crazy. But that's great. You're getting offensive production from people. You're getting offensive production from the whole team, per se. Well, not the whole team, but all around. And that's what you need with a team like this that doesn't have a superstar. I will say that games like the LA game, that's when you're missing a bona fide superstar. Because I feel like if you had a Kaprizov, McDavid, Matthews, Bedard-esque player, Crosby-esque player, and that lineup, then maybe you do tie the game and it goes to overtime. And we're playing a lot of catch-up, even on games we are winning. And you can tell it's tiring. Like, it was too tiring for them against that Los Angeles game. I'd say even too with the Minnesota game, that'd be something you could say as well. Ultimately, I feel like it's pretty much the same idea I had of this team the last time we recorded the podcast about Flames Talk.
Yeah.
Pretty mucky middle, but some good positives.
Gotta love the mucky middle of the Calgary Flames. Oh, brother, what a season so far. But again, realistically, from what I've seen from this half of December compared to what we did see in the other half of December, is you're correct. There are those little tiny improvements. And other than the power play, it- other than that, it's still, yeah, God, it's such a mucky middle with this team. There's so many good things. There's like a bare minimum of good things to talk about, but you just look at these problems that we're having, and it's like, ay. No wonder why we're 14, 15, and 5. Like, just below 500. It's brutal. But like you said, actually, Blake Coleman is actually playing pretty well this season with 34 games, 24 points, 12 and 12. I wasn't expecting this from Blake Coleman. He's playing like one of the best players on the team right now. And another player you can also add to that is Sharon Govich. I'm
Yeah.
really liking Sharon Govich lately, especially with his scoring ability. And I think that's kind of like what we would have needed from Mangiapane, to be honest. But a guy like Sharon Govich that just came into the lineup this season and he's kind of pulling this is really nice to see, especially when we even go back to the offseason where when we talked about that trade, you and I were both kind of like, we don't know about Sharon Govich yet. It hurt to lose a big scorer like Tyler Toffoli and only get like Sharon Govich and like a third, if I'm correct. But you and I were not happy with it. But this is kind of like showing a little bit what he can do for the future because he's still a young guy, right? He's only, I believe, 24, 25. And that's really nice to see that he could be a piece that we can help build this team around in the future. And to be honest, I think that's what Conroy wanted to take out of it, and I love it so far. So I would say Sharon Govich is a big piece from this half that I've noticed a lot out of. Um, Connor Zary, maybe we talk about Zary a lot. Um, if Connor Bedard wasn't having the Calder season he's about to have, you could say Connor Zary's could win it this season. But gotta love Bedard being there. You gotta love Bedard being there. Damn,
Michigan goals.
Michigan.
We're not going to see the end of it. Well, Zegras actually scored one too. 2 Michigan goals in a day.
Hmm.
Bring back hitting. That's what Tortorella would say. But yeah, Zari's been fantastic. Nothing like the fact that Pospisil and Zari, I think Pospisil's taken a little bit of a step back from where he was at the start when he first got into the lineup. But the fact that these two guys are just propelling Kadri's game is awesome. It's what you want to see with Huberto, like just a few players able to help propel Hubi's game, right? At least it's working for Kadri. But Zori's just he's confident on that puck. How many times have you watched him now where he goes into a slew of guys and still comes out with the puck? Like I could even count it
few,
against
actually.
the LA game. I saw it that one time on the zone entry. I think it was on the power play, which he's on the power play now, which is pretty solid. But we were talking about how zone entries suck. Like we miss it because Johnny Hockey isn't there for those zone entries. I mean, Zari's pretty good at that. But he just brings some sort of tenacity that I don't think we really have. Like you said, the power play sucks, but the PK has been outstanding. What is it, 10 or 11 penalty kill goals now?
Yeah.
Goals from like Holman and Backlund, and like I think Backlund's been playing pretty good. He's very quiet when it comes to his skating ability. He's a very good skater. That's what I'm starting to realize. And I think he's been able to kind of lead quietly. And I was kind of wondering during that first bit of our season where we were struggling, where's uh where is Backlund in all of this? And I think the answer is he just kind of quietly leads, right? Leads by example. And I think he's like pretty good. I think we said this last time too, like that Kadri lines look great. Same with the Coleman line. Um you have the guys on that Coleman line. Other ones a little bit. I mean, we've seen the production drop off from AJ Greer, for example, which is kind of expected from fourth liners. Um, but yeah, defense too. Let's even get into defense. I think Hanifin's played great. I think he's played good. You know, he did get beat by Byfield on that speed there. That's gonna happen when you got some young fast guys, you know, on the other team. I've still loved Tanev. It's gonna hurt, man. It's gonna hurt when he leaves because blocking shots, like how are you gonna replace that? That dude's a trooper. So I've enjoyed him. You know, we keep going down the line. Like I was thinking about this in my head the past few games. I'm like, are we missing Zadorov? And my answer to this is we're not missing Zadorov except for the physicality part. I think that Gilbert and DeSimone have tried to kind of step in that role, but I think Zadorov was better in that physicality part. But defensive wise, I think we've been about the same of what we've been all season. But I think ultimately the defense side, like the defensive game has, I think, gotten the better for both ends. Forward back checking and the defensive selves. There's just, those other problems that are very blatant that need to be figured out. And I don't know if you can get that figured out this season. And that might cost you a playoff spot.
Very true. Very true. I guess if we're actually talking about defensemen in this sense, when we talk about Hannafin, yeah, he's actually having a pretty decent year. But again, this is just kind of the better he plays, the more his value goes up and the better trade value goes. So
True.
that's the
More
thing I'll
first-round
say.
picks, right?
That's what I'll be happy with Hannafin, because if I'm correct, all contract negotiations have completely been frozen with him, especially with Elias Lindholm. It sounded like that he turned down a contract extension, if I'm correct. So that's a big factor I do want to talk about later. But back to defensemen, Mackenzie Weegar is 5th on the team for points. He has 20 points this season with 8 goals. And if I'm correct, that's a career high for him. So seeing the bounce back from Mackenzie Weegar is a really good sign for this team defensively, because again, he is a little bit of an older player. He's still on a long-term contract, but out of that Kachuk deal, I can at least see the positive that, Mackenzie Weegar is a really good top 4 defenseman on this team that could be here still for a couple of years as we're trying to figure this out. Anderson's looked promising. I guess Gilbert, like you are missing a little bit of that physicality there with Zadorov, which I think DeSimone and Gilbert are not doing too bad, but you can notice it's an AHL defenseman down there as our third pairing, which kind of hurts.
And I feel like in that sense, like, why not bring back Solovyov, I think, to fit one of those spots. And I think that he has something to prove too, right?
Yeah.
You don't have too many choices. It'd be nice to see if Shillington could somehow come back, right? But, you're gone for a while. Like, you don't even know how his play style would be. But for sure, right, there's a few things missing. I don't even know why I never mentioned anything about Anderson and Weegar, because Anderson's like our best defenseman easily. Like, he just plays his role so well. And Weegar's made some mistakes for sure, but he's still like easily a number like 2-3 guy on the team for defensemen.
I would say definitely this year, Weegar is making the case of being the top defenseman in Calgary, but you could make the case that's Anderson still.
Yeah,
it's off of speed and skill.
I think still Anderson, because I find when Anderson's good, it's when you don't hear his name being called on the play-by-play, and I've noticed that a lot this year. I guess you could say the same with Weegar when he's not scoring goals in overtime. But more and more it just proves like, this whole Kachuk trade, it's I was excited for it because of the addition to getting Weegar as well. And it proves more and more again, maybe that there's more to just getting Huberdeau, right? And that potential of the 100 points that you can get from him. Weegar as well, right? That's such a solid man. Weegar on the team, the 21-22 team. I wonder if that would have helped anything
defensively.
Because I feel like that was our biggest problem against the Oilers. We just sucked defensively. Like, everyone was just scoring goals at will, but we cannot defend.
I don't know. The turnover, Mackenzie Weegar is still a little bit of a turnover machine at times. That concerns me, because ever since I think Zadorov left, you kind of notice that more with Weegar. And
you notice it more with Weegar because it's not Zadorov doing the turnovers anymore. Yeah.
That makes sense. Actually, there was one more thing I did kind of want to add as we're talking about the lower pairings in the defensive core. So since we do have like Dennis Gilbert up, we do have DeSimone and all these AHLers, I'm still very shocked that the Flames have not decided to bring up Poirier with the Calgary Wranglers for the last 2 seasons. Last year, he played 69 games and was able to put up 41 points. And this season, he's played 4 games and put up 7 points already. How has this guy not at least gotten a chance to come up into the lineup yet?
Well, the reason for that is because he is on long term. He is on long term IR. I don't know when he'll be back. He might actually be in the same time frame as Peltier. So
Really?
maybe he gets in around March.
Whoa, I didn't see
Which
that.
would, and if you're getting younger guys, then you're still going to kind of put them all in and stuff. I would say at the end of it, when you sort of trade all your players that need to be traded and are no longer in a playoff race, because we're not getting
Oh.
in. But yeah, he's injured. He's pretty bad. So
I just read what happened. He requires surgery after skate slashes arm. And that was in October.
fun. Yeah, I didn't even. Is that bad? I didn't even realize it was
I
that
didn't
bad.
even know that.
That kind of got swept under the rug a little bit in the sense of like news,
Yeah, dang.
and it's kind of. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
But
never
yeah,
mind. Take that back. I
that's
understand
so
why.
well. I understand. Like when he comes back, he'll definitely get a shot. But I think too. I mean, it's time to get Coronado back in, man. You need some scoring ability. Like that's what we're missing right now,
Ugh,
and the sense of like more consistent scoring.
yeah.
Because we're getting scoring, but it's from all the team, which is a good thing. But again, we're missing a bona fide superstar. Not saying Coronado would be that player, but I think he would sure help.
He has the potential of being
Uh,
one.
he does, right? And
Yeah.
so I guess that is kind of the question, because he has the potential. Do you let him get his confidence up and prep himself in the AHL? He scored how many goals do you have? Like 20 or something?
I'm actually
Or
checking right now.
come to
But
the big show and deal with our problems.
oh,
That's
even
always
better.
something.
In 19 games played, he has 21 points with 8 goals. You know what
Okay,
though? I
well,
think
drop off.
you could kind of treat like Coronado in the same sense as you mentioned last episode of like Dustin Wolf of you can kind of jump them back and forth to get the NHL experience they need in that sense.
Yeah,
But you don't want to give them that kind of crappy feeling of playing on a team right now like Calgary, where if you go down to our AHL team, the team's playing great, you have a good record, there's a lot of good vibe in the locker room. But if you go up to the NHL and you look at Calgary, it's a little bit of a mixed match, mucky middle kind of situation where it could be great one day, it could be crap the next. Like I'm kind of
yeah.
treating this like what you were saying last week with Dustin Wolf with Coronado. But again, Coronado's still young. He's still got a lot of
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried at all.
time.
Um, on this kind of topic, similarly, Barn Burner, as we referenced them even more, they were talking about how when you trade your UFAs, which needs to happen, the nice thing is that you can or already have play young pieces that can somewhat already slot in. And to me, yeah, I'd agree because I think when Lindholm leaves, that's going to be around the time Peltier comes back. So
Yeah.
you have Peltier and Coronado to fit into the forward line.
Weak.
And then you have to, of course, deal with Tanev. You have to deal with Hanifin. So that's a little tougher, right? Because Slovyov, yes. Poirier, if he's back, yeah. But then, yeah, you definitely do get weaker on the D line. So you hope that one of these trades that you're going to have to do does get you a good piece. And of course, if you've heard, 1 second. Oh, why I
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the thing is, hopefully that's what you're hoping. You're just hoping that when Murray Edwards was in the building, I think he was in the building for the Panthers game you were at.
Ha! That's
Was that the last home game before the road trip? It was.
yes.
Yep,
Yep.
he was in. So of course he sees them when they win. Darn. You just hope they trade. They hope they just allowed to sell because selling you want pieces, and a player like Lindholm can get you a piece, as exemplified by the theory that Colorado needs needs a center, so that maybe they trade a piece like Bowen Byram. Oh, I'd take Bowen Byram in a minute. He could maybe not completely replace Hannafin at this moment, but will be able to, and that's what you want. So I just kind of want to know your thoughts about that.